Welcome to the Crafty Book Nook. Now today the book I'm doing, it's a children's book, and it is called Buffalo Fluffalo. Now this book, I read it to my grandson, he's 8, and he had to hear it twice in a row. He absolutely loved this book. This is Buffalo Fluffalo, and the other animals come up to him and they ask him, they try and give him things, they're trying to be his friend, and he's always talking about he's a Tuffalo Buffalo, he's Ruffalo, he's had enough-alo. The rhyming in it is amazing and I love it. It's just such a cute story. But as it goes, it's beginning to rain, and when he gets wet, the other animals see that as big as he is not. See, there's the rain, and the illustrations in this are amazing. But look, yeah, he's just they realize like he is just a tiny little thing. Now, I love this book so much. But I also decided I needed a craft to go with Buffalo Fluffalo. Now, this is how we made it. The first thing you're going to need is an Easter egg. And as I am making this video in March, right before Easter, they are aplenty. You're going to tape it shut. You can glue it shut, whatever. I'm just using a painter's tape to go around because it's what I had. And that's one thing about crafting. We try and use what we have. Now for the legs, I got a little bit creative. Those are cinnamon sticks. Now, of course, if you don't have cinnamon sticks, you could use just sticks off a tree. Use what you got. So we're going to glue those cinnamon sticks on the side with hot glue. Watch your fingers. I burnt myself a couple of times doing this. But once you get all those glued on, we are ready for the next step. Now, the next step is going to be making pom-poms. So you're going to want to set your little body aside, and I am using 2 different colors of yarn. Any yarn you got. This is, I chose like a taupe color and a brown. Making a pom-pom, you just wrap it around. I just wrapped it around my fingers. But if you have kids, little ones, maybe older kids that want help, definitely use cardboard. But this is how easy pom-poms are to make. You just wrap them around. I did about 22 times for the bigger poms, and for smaller spaces, I even went down as just going around my fingers 14 times. You tie it in the middle with a piece of yarn, and then you just trim it around. And you're going to trim and trim, and that's all you're going to do. Pom-poms are so easy to make. Kids are always, especially school-age kids, ages 6, 7, 8, they will definitely be able to. If you have younger ones, buy pom-poms. Or if you have cotton balls, you could soak them in coffee or tea and then let them dry overnight before the craft. Those will also give you a nice brown color. Now, I forgot to turn my camera around for this part, so we're going to go with it. So we're just going to glue all of those pom-poms on with the hot glue gun. Now, I think if kids, especially younger kids, I do not like using hot glue with younger kids. So definitely a craft glue, like a tacky glue, something like that will really stick. I do not like using like white school glue or the clear glue on crafts like this. It just doesn't stick, especially on the plastic. So definitely get you a good craft glue for this part if you're not going to use hot glue. And this is what we're going to do. You're just going to glue them all around the body, on the belly, and you're just going to turn this egg into a big Fluffalo Buffalo. Now I'm just going to, fast forward through the boring bits. This is just gluing the pom-poms all around. We're making him nice and fluffy. Keyword fluffy. Now I ended up making a smaller, with using the taupe colored yarn. This was going to be the first part of his head. So you're going to use 2 different pom-poms of this color. I just glued it in there, smashed it in there, and that's going to be the bottom part of his head. Now, if you remember, Buffalo Fluffalo, he has that brown moppy top on top, so that's what we're going to make next. Now, when you're putting the pom-pom on pom-pom, You you need to be careful with the glue, especially hot glue. You can use, sometimes I use a spatula, like one of those little silicone spatulas or whatever, just so I don't have to touch it, or even tweezers. But here you go. So we got his head on, and now we are going to need to make his tail. Tape those 3 pieces of yarn onto the table, whatever you're working on, and then you're just going to tie off the end with just another piece of yarn so that it will match. You tie that off and then trim everything up, and then we are ready to glue the tail on. I'm going to need to use my spatula right here for that, just to make sure I can get it glued in there and secured to something. So there you go. Now he has his little tail. It was about this time that I realized that we needed more face, more of the snout, to give him more of that buffalo look. So I made another smaller pom-pom using the taupe, light brown, beige, whatever color you want to call it, and trimmed it up. And this was going to be, I'm going to glue this right on the bottom part of his face. Once that was glued on there, I really felt like he looked more like a buffalo. He had his little snout, and now it was time for the eyes. Now, I just cut the eyes out. I just made them like little half circles because, the Buffalo has like those slanted, he's got angry eyes. He's grumpy. And so I decided to cut them out of foam instead of using googly eyes. But if you want to use googly eyes, you go on ahead. Or you can even make little black pom-poms for his eyes. I don't know. You do you, boo-boo. So I used a permanent marker to circle, color in the little things. Now, let me tell you, give them time to dry because I am an impatient crafter. I smudge the marker on the foam. So don't, monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, don't do as I do. Now I'm getting that last eye glued on there. And now we're going to make his horns. Now I am using just felt for the horns, but cardboard, use what you have on hand to make his horns with. Now, this is also about the time that I decided he needed a nose. Now, after you get the nose cut out, I just used a permanent marker to put the 2 dots and then his little, grumpy smile face, whatever he's got going on there. And then we're going to glue that on the end of the snout for our Fluffalo. Now, I almost forgot his ears, so I'm going to kind of speed this up. Use the same colored felt for his ears. I got some pink from the inside because if you look on the book, his inside of his ears are pink. Ear shape. I glued them together and then glued them onto the side of his head, just below his horns. And so here is an up-close look of my Fluffalo Buffalo. There's his tail, his little buffalo bum. Yeah. This, I really like this. I'm going to give this to my grandson because he really enjoyed the story. If you want to purchase the book, I've got a link that will be in the description. Of course, I earn a commission from that. But if you don't, you can go to the library and get the book. Excellent, excellent book. I guarantee you, your kids are going to love the book and you're going to have fun making the little craft. Okay. And the kids will enjoy it. My grandson loves when I make crafts to go with his book. So you guys keep reading, keep creating, and come and see me again.